You die and are told that you will be randomly reincarnated and have only one choice to affect your next life. The country you will be born in. What country do you choose and why? Probably the Netherlands, because I've always wanted to be taller and better looking and live in a windmill and eat tulips for dinner and show the sea who's boss. As someone who lived in NL for nearly 5 years, I can advise that you reconsider your choice, as despite the Dutch, in major cities at least, being very friendly and open-minded, and despite the healthcare system being very good, and despite the education system being good, and generally just about any institution being good, the weather there will make you depressed, as it is a country where the sun is really only visible for about 20% to 30% of the year, and the effect this has on the people there is profoundly tangible. I come from a desert, spent a week in the Netherlands. I wish I could go back. Rain is my favorite weather. Ireland, and hope my new body is built for Irish dance. Prepare by tapping your feet constantly. Monaco. More than 1/3 of the population are millionaires. Switzerland. Cosmony and no war. Mountains are really beautiful. Heard they don't have so many politics problems as in other countries. I've been living here for just over 2 years now, and I can attest to the good and the bad. But, like you said, it is beautiful, and I mean that in every sense of the word. I've visited a lot of countries and lived for extended periods in a fair amount, and it's really hard to beat Switzerland in that. On the other hand, it is depressingly hyper-capitalistic, with my first and only visit to the doctor for 2 hours costing me over $700. The itemized invoice charging me per question. Essentially, every question that required someone's attention was immediately marked down as a 5-minute consultation. My insurance being crazy expensive, but still one of the cheapest ones, of around $350 a month with a mandatory self-participation of $2,500, so it didn't even cover the doctor. And generally everything here being astonishingly expensive and incredibly money focused. For an outsider, it's also easy to see all the problems being swept under the rug. But I suppose for someone Swiss born and raised, life might actually be quite incredible here. That is, as you/reflect the sun has mentioned. Provided you are born white, and to at least a well-standing family. Provided you are born white. Are the Swiss actually conscious of skin color? Oh no, the pressure. I'd probably go for the same as now. New Zealand. I seriously doubt you live there now. Mr. F. Craig. Alright Mr. F. Craig. His much is a block of cheese? I would enjoy being an Aussie. I currently do. But given what we are doing to our planet, I'm not sure I want to come back. I feel a bit sorry for the unborn generation. I moved to Denmark. I think I'd like to be a Scandinavian citizen by birth next time. Decent living standards. Not too hot. I enjoy holidays somewhere warm, but working in that heat would suck for me. Not crazy religious or bigoted overall. State-funded healthcare and education. And not too remote geographically. I'd probably be taught English at a very young age, so I'd be bilingual before being a proper adult. And maybe I'd be better looking. It's not perfect here, but it's a good choice, Imo. I've actually recently looked up a few bits of information about migrating to Denmark. Any knowledge you'd care to share? Anything would be good. Close bracket. Norway. Ca Nadia. Excuse me. I couldn't hear you. As a sane person, I'm staying in the Nordic countries. So probably Norway or maybe Finland. Yeah, same. And since I've already seen Finland, I guess it has to be Norway next. Sweden. Seems like a fun country. Agree. But only because of Ike. I'm tossing up between England, Sweden, or France. Not England as it is today. Trust me. Nor France. Bermuda. Sunny Caribbean island. Dude. It's Bermuda and it's located in the Atlantic. Very far from the Caribbean. About 1300 miles. Despite the misinformation, it's a wonderful place. I would also love to live. Japan. Love the food, and would be interesting to try a very different culture. This would be my answer, if not for the expectation to work yourself half to death as a minimum baseline. I love their social culture, but hate their business culture. Fun fact, US Americans actually work more on average under worse conditions. No maternity/paternity leave. The health system problem, etc. Closed bracket. Liechtenstein or Luxembourg have the highest GDP per capita when adjusted for purchasing power and tiny populations, so the likelihood of ending up not well off is low. So if we are talking born and live there, then I'd choose those. Monaco is another good choice to be born in. If we are talking born, but not necessarily raised in, even if born to someone visiting, it would be rare that you'll be born in Monaco and not be well off. Definitely Luxembourg, yeah. I grew up trilingual, speak perfect English, and also some Portuguese and Spanish. No big deal. Apostrophe. England. Always wanted to be born in England. America or Canada. Yeah, it's fun and easy to hate on the states. Everyone is their own biggest critic after all. But I definitely re-up on the whole America thing. Preferably with rich parents this time around. For sure. But being poor in America is really no big deal. So long as you're not in a big nasty city. Monaco. Best chance to be a rich baby. I'ma leave America and go to Canada. You can do that right now. Too young, my guy, too young. Iceland. Switzerland. Denmark or Scotland. Monaco. My parents, by definition, are either trust fund kids or very high earners. Even just a student room cost around $8,000 a month. Yes, with 3 zeros. And my passport will say freaking Monegasque. It's as close to royalty you get without actually being it, and by just selecting the country. Australia. Sure, I'm from Australia already, but I've spent most of my life in Victoria. I'd love to experience the kind of parallel universe where I never left Queensland. I'd probably stick with Australia, maybe New Zealand. But the value of the dollar is even worse than it is here. Otherwise, if I had to go somewhere else, I would probably go somewhere Nordic, or maybe even as far south as the Netherlands in a pinch. I agree with you. I'm also an Australian, so I would either stay here or maybe go to a Scandinavian country. Canada might be a good option as well, but I'm not too sure about the cold. People here seem to be thinking that they'll be always reincarnated into a person. It says randomly on the title. So you might reincarnate into any animal, maybe even a plant. With that in mind, I'll go for Antarctica. The way I see it, it'll either be a penguin or some other cool Antarctic animal with no mass killings due to hunting, just other animals, or an environmental scientist. But your habitat is literally melting away. Britain. At least it has engines there. Scotland. I love the strawberries. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.